One of the things that we can do as a teacher is create an appointment pass. And we would create an appointment pass if we wanted to see a specific student at a specific time. For the middle school in particular, during brace block, we might want to see a student to make up a test. We might want the student to come because they were absent and we need them to make up work. We might have a club going on that we need them to come to, and we need to just have that pass filled out so that they really kind of for 10 minutes don't have an option except whether or not to come to our class. So if I go ahead and click on appointment pass, it'll show me any appointment passes I've had that day. I can search for students that already have an appointment pass, but here I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create one. And so the first thing I'm going to do is search for the student I want to come visit me. For me, that's test student. Date, I'm going to pick today because that's when I want them to come see me. Period is required. Really, it's based more off the time. So for us, brace block is 7th period. I'm not really sure what 8th period is. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tell them the time. And so in this particular case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select 10:40, which is just a couple of minutes away. Well, I'm going to select 10:38, just a couple of minutes away from where we are now. And from teacher is whichever teacher they're currently at during that time. So if they're normally in Mrs. Reed's brace block, I'm going to go ahead and select Mrs. Reed, not Mrs. Reed, and select that. And if I want to do more, I can. I'm going to put in my reason is to make up a test, and I'm going to hit submit. So now that's waiting out there for the student. Notice I don't have an indication here that I have one, but when that pass becomes active, it will show up in here. So it has become active. Now to show you on the student side, on the student screen, this floats over the top and tells them that they have a pass. And they can't really escape out of it. They can't really do anything but go to the pass. If they close out the tab and come back in, it's still going to show them that they have a pass. So I'm going to go to the pass, and it's going to show them then the active pass that they have. You'll notice that they don't have the ability to exit it. If they say, no, I don't want to do this, I want to create a pass. It is true that this pass will be active for 10 minutes. So after the 10-minute time, if they want to outwait it, they can come. Generally, the beginning of brace block, by the time that 10 minutes time is up, they will have had to go anywhere, but it is waiting for it to happen. And so I would, as a student, I would either have to raise my hand and say, Mrs. Reed, can you approve my pass so I can go see Mr. Carlson there. On the teacher side, on my screen it will show the pass, and on Mrs. Reed's screen it will show the pass. And then if Mrs. Reed approves it, then the student would come over to Mr. Carlson's class, and I would say that this student has arrived. They would go through the process of taking the test. Don't forget, the new part here is that you can add comments to the status, and I might say student completed test, and put the comment for just for record sake. Don't forget, anything that you type in here is live to the student. So you want to do that, and then I would say that he is returning to Mrs. Reed, and then at that particular point she would end the pass. And that's a way of doing an appointment pass. Obviously, if you're trying to do 20 or 30 students at a time, that can take a little bit of time, and there doesn't really seem to be any way to batch do that. But if you have 4 or 5 students that you need to make up a test, then that's a way of making it so that they can't in brace block go anywhere but to your class.